Hello everyone, let's get going, shall we? Alright, it hasn't rocked up just yet. So we're doing it tonight we're doing mixed media tonight because, well, we had the retreat on the weekend, so, Thursday was a no-go. So, we're here. Woo! Anyway, let's get started, shall we? I don't know what we're doing. I've only just ate dinner. So will she. We shall see, we shall see, we shall see. We're just going to have a play. Yeah. We're just going to have a play. Yes? Oh, my acne's popped. Fun. Oh, hello, Jason. Hello, Dee. Apparently I'm bleeding.
Yes, you got bleeding.
Oh, nothing like a bit of blood to start your evening off. Right, let's go, shall we? Oh, hello, Pam. I think we're going to use this white linen. I've used it quite a bit. It's now, become super thick because it's got, paint on top of it and everything.
I hate for you to bleed on your page.
Oh, no. Just add it into the texture realm. Oh, look at that. My nose is also running from a hay fever. Oh, I know, right? It's amazing what hay fever can do to people. Rightio. Let's get started. You guys do not want to hear about my hay fever problems. Let's just say they're not fun. Right, here we go. We should be ready to rumble in about never. Okay. Let's get started. I think we're going to stencil this down. Our aim is to create a nice double page. Let's see what happens. I think we're going to go with this color. I haven't used it a lot. It's a light lilac. Tonight is the night, guys. If you have anything that you want to do, let me know and we'll have it go. We can try out anything. Hello, Tash. If you've got a burning question, we can try it.
I am nearly there.
You're nearly there? If your burning question is if you would like to replace my scribe, well, that job is frequently open and available.
This one's just waiting on his piece.
This one seems to blame the equipment a lot, so,
Oh, okay, here we go.
go. So we're just coming in, and we're not wetting our paintbrush too much because we're trying to dry brush on our stencil. This is just so then what happens is it doesn't get too wet because our stencil is only literally a white linen cut. Oh, hello, dye from the Beautiful Family range. It's just like one of those mandalas. So we're just coming in, and all we're doing is just... So that's basically how wet my paintbrush is. It's not too wet. It's just a little bit... Got a bit to it, but not too much. Here we go. Eink. There we are. Oh my gosh. See the comment section again. It's a miracle. Right.
You're not moving on my PC, but I can see it.
Excellent. Well, now stand still and behold class. Our aim is the painting proof force. Dun, dun, dun. We are also streaming this to YouTube, so if your Facebook decides to play up today,
I'll be going to YouTube.
it is all good. Oh, hello, Mary. Hello, Ronnie Robin. So yeah, if you guys have anything you want me to try tonight,
Jello. I'd love some Jello, thanks, Rob.
just let me know in the comment section and we shall give it a whirl.
Jelly printing. I haven't got any ready for jelly.
Oh no. Apart from jelly printing, sorry. Jelly printing is a little bit beyond me after tonight. Jelly printing is a long class and we have to be organised for that. But yes, if you got any questions whatsoever, if you want to try anything because you're too scared to, let me know. Or you're afraid it'll end in disaster. I'm completely up for it. I am going to turn my phone on silent though, because like I'm assuming you guys are getting sick of the dinging. I'm almost definite.
Still haven't moved.
I must be making waves. Okay, how are we feeling? Oh, I've got a suggestion for the next colour. I feel like we might do another stencil. Or maybe a stamp. We could have some lead stickers in. What about some gauze? I want to keep flinging out options realistically. We've also got, I have this like little piece of cardboard tubing from, I think it's a docket roll. Or we could do, and if you have any suggestions of what you would like to see in one of our extravaganzas as well, completely up for that. Yellow. Oh, excellent. I'm glad to see that Dee has an idea. Beautiful yellow. And we are going to do something with yellow. Who knows what? Hey, with the yellow, what we could do is with our watercolor crayon, which I just happen to have at my desk because, you know, I'm that prepared for the color yellow. Lemon yellow, would you believe? We might draw ourselves some triangles. Because, you know, why not? Triangles are a pretty easy shape, I think. What do you think? Dad, can you draw a triangle?
Why are you basing something on how easy I can draw? That's not very... I'm feeling put upon.
You're feeling put upon. Well, you know, you do have a common saying that if you can do it, anyone can do it. So, you know, I was assuming that we were still in that bit of a mood, but obviously not. Sorry. Dad's sarcasm has completely dropped, obviously. I did not read the room correctly. Oops. Would not be the first time, would you believe?
I've got a circle spinning on one and frozen hands on the other.
Oh, frozen hands. We could do the Let It Go theme then. Let it go.
Oh, no.
Let it go. I'm a bit of a Disney fan. Just a tad. Amelia and I do Disney karaoke in the car, and sometimes Dad's there, and he does not probably enjoy it, but he is subject to it.
Yes.
Now, the really cool thing about doing this with our watercolor crayon is that we can either choose to A, fill them in, or B, we can make them like our white space inside of the triangles. So, for example, let me just go ahead and give you an example. We're going to come in with, I was going to say this thin paintbrush, but that's going to be a bit of a pain. So we're going to come in with our normal paintbrush. And then just spread it out completely. I'm coming up. I'm going to lift this up so they can see it, because yellow is a hard color to see on camera. Right, where are we? Can see what I'm doing. So we can actually spread it out. And it can fill in the white space then, see? It's amazing. Watercolor pencils are also great at this. If you do have small kids in the house, I do suggest the Mott branded ones, just because if they accidentally eat them at any point, they're non-poisonous, so... You know.
Not poisoning your children.
Yeah, well... I hear poisoning your kids is illegal, so I suggest no.
I'm just reloading, sorry,
Mm-hmm. Did you use your famous F5 button?
No, I went out and came back in, and surprisingly, you've moved, but you're still not
Anyone else got any suggestions while I do this yellow?
I see you've used purple.
Yes, we have used purple. We're going with yellow. Maybe we could go with lime green next. But, you know, we could go really out there and go like a bright orange. Or we could go really nice and go some blue. Could do some stamping if you guys wanted to. Add some collage if you wanted. All up to you, realistically, people. Whatever you want.
I think we got
Orange?
I'm feeling a bit orange.
You feeling a bit orange? I suppose you were out in the hot sun most of the... Well, not in the hot sun, the heat. Most of the weekend out the back. Mum has realised that we probably need to invest in an aircon in the back area because she doesn't normally spend most of the hot summer days out the back.
Yes,
She does? Okay.
got how it was last summer.
Oh, okay. We did have an R2D2 aircon once upon a time. It was a long time ago. I can't remember when, but
He blew up.
he blew up. We did forget to empty his bucket sometimes. That was an interesting situation. Right. Here we go. Here we go. I'm having a bit of trouble here, man. Wait a minute. I wonder why the paper's absorbing the water so fast. I think it's because it's really hot. Normally this paper allows you a little bit of wiggle room, but
Hey, you've even got the right name on your video.
I know, I was organised. It's cold here in Victoria. Well, yeah, Pam, we are officially out of winter up here. We have the aircon on. We are hot stuff.
My pool was that hot this afternoon. I wasn't even cleaning it because it's turned green. I'm not happy, Jan.
You're not happy?
No.
You had birds swimming in it.
It's got that much chlorine in it that any little bird that swims in it's going to die on impact.
We're going to get home to like 50 dead birds.
They're going to smell that chlorine long before they hit the water.
I hope you're right. You're going to be cleaning up the victims.
She is well and truly chlorine.
So you reckon orange, Dad?
I'm feeling kind of orange.
You're feeling kind of orange? Maybe we might go with some orange paint. I've got to paint orange. Oh, look, it's on my desk already. Oh, here's one I prepared earlier. It's probably not the correct word for that, but here we go. I thought orange too. Excellent. You got D's approval. There you go.
Thanks, Steve.
Right, what do we want to do with said orange? We could do some stamping, or we could do some more. We could do some stenciling. I've got some different stencils here. What have we got? Well, we've got a few actually. We've got this one. And then down, we've got our dots, our fabulous dots. We've got some flowers, some mermaid. You know, I just realised we have a lot of girly stencils. Dear, dearie doctor. I normally have a good mix. Oh, here we go. We've got fishes. Stamping. Oh, okay. Right. It's going to be 20 tomorrow, then drops to 13. Very unusual for this time of year. Oh my goodness me. Oh, hello, Karen. I reckon stamping D with our orange. Probably. Well, in Victoria, where Pam is.
Yep, glad to live in Queensland.
Glad to live in Queensland. So am I. So am I. I may be sweating, but at least I know I'm alive. It's raining. Oh, it's raining in Weather Colours. Oh, interesting. Right, so for stamping, this is my lovely tub that I keep underneath my desk. We've got this pattern, which is circles. We've got some little plus signs. We've got some cute butterflies. They are very detailed. Let's take a look. Oh, we've got these little starry things. Oh, we've got a stencil. Oh, we've got this love heart that I keep forgetting I own. Is that one? Oh, hold up. I've got a whole sheet of stamps. Look, I don't think I've used this grid. Well, I think we should use this gritty one. What do you think? Grid? The grid. And then what else have we got? We've got that barcode one over there, haven't we? Oh. Dear, now my hay fever's kicked in and I've dealt with the blood on my nose. God. Oh, this is just... No, I cannot win this season, can I? Oh, look, this one here looks pretty cool. Those look like mini suns. See, if you have any suggestions, we are running purely on suggestions tonight, by the way. So we might end up with something that looks really weird or something that looks absolutely fantabulous. So, also think we need the pots. And maybe a butterfly. Yeah, we've got way too many stamps out, but that's fine. That's fine. I don't normally like doing this many stamps just because we might have a pattern kill overload, but we'll be fine. So we did agree on the grid, didn't we? Yes, like the grid. Excellent. We're going with the grid. I can't believe I've never used this. I think I've used my mum's one of this one. Maybe that time mine doesn't have anything on it, or I cleaned it really well last time, which is highly unlikely. There we go. Not possible, eh, Dad? Excellent. Well, yeah, I do want some hot water tonight. Fantabulous. You know what? We have an ad up here in Central Queensland that goes, Fantabulous. See you at the expo. Psychic expo, rest processing. I think that ad's been around forever. So, yes. If you say Fantabulous up in Central Queensland, you will get the next line. But yes, Fantabulous. So if anyone does have suggestions, please let me know. This grid looks pretty cool. We could make a pattern, hey? I know it's probably not intended to make a pattern, but you know, we're gonna make a pattern. Hey, we could add some embossing powder to this one. What does everyone think? We do some embossing powder just for giggles. We don't normally do embossing powder. It's quite messy. But you know what? I can't remember how messy it was last time because I'm that tired. So we could do it. Embossing powder, yes. See, we can do that. We can do anything we like. It's a Sunday and we're teaching a class, which means it is Fun Sunday. Fun, casual Sunday, no rules apply. I reckon some bling. Oh, yeah, we could add. So, bling has a lot of terminology to it. We reckon glitter paint, sequins, or both. Or we could get some gems, some diamantes. We could go diving in Mum's collection. She has a whole drawer full of diamantes. What do we think? Go for a bit of a dive mid-class into the collage box. It is completely optional. All sounds good. Excellent. Extra bling for tonight, hey? Can never have too much bling. Right. I just had a bit of an idea. I've had a brainwave. Oh my gosh. Where we can like mix bling and paint together with embossing powder, all to make this really cool butterfly effect. But we're gonna need blue paint. So let me just grab out. I reckon if we use dark blue paint, because my embossing powder that I've got on my desk is light blue. And the embossing powder isn't exactly the easiest thing to get to in our area, so we're gonna stick with what we've got on the table right now, which is light blue. We do have the new Tim Holtz embossing pattern coming in. The color has been released officially. It's this lovely red. However, I wouldn't use too much on a page, or else it might look like you've created a murder scene. Although that might match a few photos. You never know what you've got in your stash. But yeah, we've got that up online, and the photos are on the product now. So, I highly suggest having a look at if you're a Tim Holtz fan.
No.
So what we're gonna do is we're gonna come in and we're gonna do our usual thing with the paint. I'm going to rub nice and gently because this butterfly is super detailed. So this could be really bad for a heavy-handed person, which is me. I just realized how much of a stupid idea this is, but we'll be fine. We got this all covered. Right, so I'm then going to come in and stamp that down, and then put some of our embossing powder down, and it will stick to the wet paint. And then we're going to come and do a few more butterflies. So they're going to have like light blue centers, light blue highlights, if it works. Oh, I've got some collage that was left on my palette, on my finger. So like I said, just rubbing it nice, and we're doing a bit of a massage. We don't want to push too hard, or else the paint will then get into the grooves and we won't get all that detail. That's why this is a little bit tricky if you're heavy-handed, but it looks amazing. Just takes a bit of practice. And quickly, before it dries, get some light blue on it. I don't really want the light blue on the tips of the wings, just on the inside, I reckon, because then it'd be like a gradient. Here we go. Oh, probably had too much paint on my finger that time, but that's okay. We'll just massage it out. How many butterflies do you reckon we could do with this technique? Could do probably a fair few. Here we go. Oh, hello, Lorraine. Right. Just so you know, Lorraine, we are running on suggestions tonight. So if you got something you want to do, you want me to create with, let me know, because that's what we're doing tonight. We are going pure suggestions. I don't have anything prepared. So, okay. Right, we need something to slide underneath our book so then we can like capture our embossing powder. And I think I'm going to use this piece of paper which had the suggestion of tiger cuts. Do not worry. I wrote that down on the official suggestion page in Mum's book after that class. So it's all good if we use this. So we're just going to come in and we're going to flick a page just to get all the extra things. And you can kind of see where the embossing powder's stuck because it's got all of that, it's got like this little fine coating of powder. I don't know if it's going to be bright light blue or if it's going to just give it a glittery effect, but we will see. We might come in and do like a few embossing powder flowers maybe. So we can do that. We'll see. Okay, so we need our heat tool, which is still plugged in, I believe. Yes, it is. And we're just going to come in and heat our embossing powder now. And as you can see, it's starting to turn. There we go. So I didn't quite have the effect I thought it was, but it's given it a little bit of a gold flakiness to it, which is quite nice. Tone on tone would be great using this method. Oh, yes, tone on tone would be great. Does embossing powder need to be heated? Yes, it does need to be heated. It's what cooks it. And it's like basically plastic that melts. Tone on tone. Oh, we could do a tone on tone effect, couldn't we? Could do some light blue stuff and then put some light blue embossing powder on it, and we make like the texture. We might do that in a quick second, and I'll add some more glitter to the page, which was another request. Yes, but you have to heat it. Just be careful. You can overcook embossing powder, especially clear and white embossing powder. You'll be able to tell really easily because it browns. All the other ones, it's a little bit hard to tell. Normally the smell gives it away. Generally, if you smell something that's burning and you think you're having a heart attack, yeah, please stop. It's most likely just the embossing powder overburnt. Yeah, but it will rub off if you don't heat it. So that's the why you've got to heat it to get the effect. Right, let me get a napkin that's light blue now. Here we go. So I've got my light blue napkin. It's a bit light blue. It has butterflies on it, so it matches our page. See? Perfect. Step 1 of the process. It matches the page. Right. Now, step 2, we're going to glue this down. I think, which butterfly do we want? Let's see.
Did you see the questions where Pam asked does embossing powder need to be heated?
Yeah, I've answered it.
And then Lorraine.
Yeah, it says I think it would rub off. Yeah. Yeah, I know. I'm pretty good at this video stuff, eh? Let's see. I reckon. Ooh, maybe we could stick it there, hey? It's going into our butterflies, and then we can stick some of this other blue up here, and then some of this other blue over here. Right, now we just need some gel medium and clear gesso, which I believe both are in the thing, but we do have gesso. We can use gesso. We'll make the light blue a little bit more pop actually when it's on the napkin. So we're just going to come in and rub down our white gesso like we would do with the glue. White gesso can be used as an alternative to glue. When using it with a napkin, it does make the napkin opaque. Just a heads up, and it's a bit harder to blend into the background then, but we'll figure that one out. So just like always, we kind of want full coverage. And we're going to make this one here blend a bit more into the background by actually ripping it a little bit as we stick it down. I know I normally try and avoid ripping the napkin as I go, but this will just help us with the white paint just to blend it in. Go. Okay. And then come in and stick down our you have just answered another question. I've collected some beautiful napkins and was wondering how to use them. Look at that. I'm a psychic. So I forgot you were doing class tonight. That's okay, Sandra. And hello. Welcome. Yep. Going pretty well, actually, I think. We are going purely on suggestion. So if you do want me to do something, Sandra, just let me know. We are getting to adding glitter. Don't worry, Raquel. I have not forgotten that glitter is best, as always. Or as we call it, bling bling. Thank you, Raquel. Yes, see, look. Teamwork is the dream work. So we're just going to stick this one down, I think, a bit more. There we go. And then before we come in and do our embossing powder, because I do want that just to be a little bit more dry before we add the embossing powder in, I think what we could do is just, actually I might add a bit more white coming in over this edge, is just come back in with our grid stamp and do some of the orange grid again in this area especially, and maybe just over the top of this one. It's just going to help us blend in the background layers, obviously. By doing that, it also means that it looks like we've intentionally done all these bits and we're not just, you know, doing one technique after another and hoping that it works out. It's like hoping that a casserole is going to work out when you've put in like 6 onions and 1 carrot. And you're expecting pumpkin soup. All right, red. So, you know, I don't think you're going to end up with pumpkin soup. I don't know if that's anyone's starter recipe for pumpkin soup. I wouldn't know. I assume it needs pumpkin instead of onions, but yeah. But yeah, so that's why we're coming in. And we're done with these layers. We'll do it. Sorry, I realize that statement might have been a bit harsh, but I've just come out of tutoring mode.
Good analogy, says Dee. And Raquel says she's loving this. So.
Thank you. Right, so we're just going to come along and rub some of the orange along the edge, I reckon. Just to give us a few highlights. Okay.
Sounds like onion soup with a hint of pumpkin. Is there such a thing as onion soup?
Yes. Look, Mom is the genius and she says yes. French onion soup. Oh, there is a thing as onion soup. I don't think you're allowed to eat it, Dad. You would be on fire.
Onions and me are not friends.
No, right, okay. We've got enough orange. Let's not go overboard on the orange. We're only supposed to be doing a hint of that. We were doing tone on tone, weren't we? Right, so what we're going to do is we're going to come in and we're going to add some of this light blue dripping out from our butterfly. So I reckon that our light blue on our watercolor palette is probably this one here, the closest to our napkin. I know we could just rip out the what's it called, the page, and cut it up and use it on the card front.
That's the good thing about this journal.
Actually,
rip it out, you just unclip it.
Good point. We could just unclip it and use the pages. Jeez, look at that. Marlene was thinking of this, and it's good quality paper as well, so you could use it as cardstock if you run out or anything. If you're desperate. It was a few months where we were desperate for white card. Thanks to stock shortages everywhere.
It's a bit like that.
Right, here we go. So we're just spreading out our tone that we want to be tone on tone. As you can see. I actually think this is one of the better pages I've made. All was like so far in the last month. Jeez. Better touch some wood, hey? Hopefully that's wood. It's close enough.
Timber in it somewhere with a light blue.
Exactly. It's got timber in it. Good enough. Right. So, here we go. That's the one that's there. But I have chucked my stamps that I've used into one of my water tubs. This is so then, because our classes go for so long and I use paint on my stamps, I don't want them to get ruined or for me to have to spend hours cleaning them. So I stick them in my water tubs because I have 2 of them on my desk. So then they stay wet. Like, obviously you can't leave them they're long term, but for an hour they're okay in there. And it just means when I finish my class, I can go and have a drink of water and then go and probably go a little bit as well, because I'm not kidding, I have a small bladder. And then go and wash my stamps out and my stencils. So, it just helps keep them, the cleaning process, down a little bit. So if you are on the go, you can just do that. What sort of book is that you are using? Oh, Dad, can you put up a link to this journal, please? It's the Art by Marlene Binder art journal. Yeah, it's the artist book size, I think. Hold up, let's just... Yeah, the artist size one. She does bring them out in 3 different sizes. I just have this one because I find the other one is a bit too small for me. But the other one that's on the smaller side is really good if you're just starting to be a beginner off, because it works out just to be under 12 inches in size and like about 9 inches high. So it's about the size of an A4. Just about, which means that like it's close enough to your general scrapbooking page, where the general scrapbooking page cuts off here.
That one you're using, we've sold out of the other 2 small ones.
Oh, are we out of this size, are we?
Yeah, we've got the handy size, which is 14.5 by 19 centimetres.
Yeah, that's the one I suggest, because it's about the size of a scrapbook page. So.
And the perfect size is 19 by 25.
Yeah, which is bigger than this one.
Yeah.
So. That's the thing. Oh, hold up.
The scrapbook page is 12 inches by 12 inches.
Oh, well, whichever one's closest to the scrapbook page. That's the one I suggest, because that's the one that you'd be more likely used to the size of creating on. It means it's not so much of a jump when going from a page to a book. It also means that if you do like it, you can cut it down to size and all of that. So it's not like you're going from 12 by 12 to A3. Right, so we're just coming in, and I'm adding this blue one, obviously, because we wanted to do tone on tone, which we are getting to, I promise. Okay, so to do the tone on tone embossing pattern, what we're going to have to do is we are going to first dry our watercolor real quick. So we're just going to come in, and we just need it to be touch dry, because the embossing pattern is only going to stick to stuff that's wet on the surface, so it doesn't matter if it's not fully dry on the inside. There is a difference. You will find it in summer. You'll notice it. Things will be touch dry in a couple of seconds, especially if you live in Queensland or WA or even Northern Territory. Well, definitely in the Northern Territory. Sometimes South Australia as well gets pretty hot. Probably not Victoria or New South Wales might get it for a couple of months, where things will be touch dry, but they won't be fully dry in the surface. So you just got to be careful on how much you play with things and how wet the page actually gets, because your page can, or your artwork can decombobulate, but you're like, but it was dry. However, it was actually super wet underneath the surface. You just didn't realize. So that's where that comes into play. So we just want this to be touch dry as it is. As you can see, we've only got this white paint that's coming off, and that's just because the napkin ripped there. So it's going to take a bit more longer to dry, but we're not going to really do our thing there. Instead, we're going to come up here, and I think what we're going to do is we're going to draw some flowers with our Dimensional Magic, or you can do this with glossy accents. Any clear glue works for this. To do tone on tone, you want to apply what your sticky medium is going to be for your embossing powder as clear possible, like glue, or you could use the usual embossing powder ink pads. I just sometimes find them really unreliable, especially living in a humid climate, that they tend to dry up on us up here really easily, and I don't like having to re-ink my ink pads every 3 goes. In saying that, I did leave mine in a hot car for over 24 hours. So that probably was the reason why I kind of damaged it. But, you know, it is what it is. As they say, I just forgot. Well, I didn't just forget, like it was a bad day. My stress was off the charts. I had a speech to do at uni and things didn't go my way. Anyway, point is don't leave it in a hot car. Oh, goodness. Yeah, that's in South Australia, isn't it? The cold seems to be sticking around. Up here in the tropics, we definitely have hit late spring weather. They ain't saying it's the hottest it's been around this time of year. I just think it's because we had a really cold winter that all of us, now that it's gone to hot, we're just all very, like, it stood us back. And we've had wind a couple of days, so it's not even like you get a break because it's just blowing heat into your face and humidity. So we normally just get the heat. We don't actually get wind with it, which is why I think it is also hitting us really hard here. Like I said, it's not very usual. So I've just gone over and I've done all that. I'm just going to double check so you can see I've given them all pretty good coverage. I've killed double-sided tape by leaving it in the car. Yes, yeah, the sticky does die off when you've left it in the car for too long. It definitely dies. Yeah, that's the thing. So when you hit those 40s and high 30s, that's when your stuff, you'll even find it with gluing down titles and stuff on pages with just regular glue, that it will be touch dry, but not dry, which can be really deceiving, especially if you're doing wet techniques and you think they're drying quick, where actually it's just, it's like phantom drying on you. Right, so here we go. So we're just going to come in and we're going to flick this a lot because we don't want any extras on hanging on there and for the powder to rub off on us, like when we're showing it to our best friend and then they get powder all over the shirt and it's like, oh, I'm so sorry, and it becomes like a contagious glitter storm coming away. So we're just going to put that off to one side. And of course, we're not wasting any of this because it's all very important. But we are going to grab out that extra lump of white paint, which I think was stuck to the back of my art journal. Just gonna let it go. And by that, we don't get any embossing powder on. So you definitely want to have a piece of scrap paper around when you're doing embossing powder. It just makes it so then you can put it all in. If you're wanting to do multicolor embossing powder, I suggest doing like one at a time, and then that really helps. The weather is crazy here in southeast of South Australia. Oh, goodness. I can't imagine. Yes, I used embossing I used Dimensional Magic, not embossing ink for the embossing with these flowers, just because, like I said, I killed my embossing ink pad a long time ago and haven't replaced it. And the other thing as well is I want these flowers to have some dimension so then I can see them really clearly, because they're the same light blue as our napkin and the light blue watercolor paint that we were using. And I definitely want to be able to see what I've done. So I'm going in. And I'm just, there you go. And as you can see, you can also tell a bit more when the embossing pad is fully cooked on Dimensional Magic, because it bubbles really well. Pardon? Oh no, I've read all the comments. Right, here we go. Yes, it is a very cool effect. Oh, sorry, can you see that one? Here we go. It's just about making sure that we get all the spots on. I think so. This embossing palette we're using is having a bit of a glittery effect. I do want to see what the new Tim Holtz one does. I think it would be quite nice. Pardon? Not exactly. There we go. So once it gets really bubbly and starts moving a fair bit on it, I'm going to move to the next one. Just so then we don't overcook it, as you can see. And just to get a bit of embossing powder on this white paint here. So we are coming in and we're just going to cook that as well so it doesn't come off at any random point in the future. Because it will come off at the most, like at the least convenient time. It will decide to become loose. So there we go. We've got those on, as you can see, and like look at those ones there. So that's the flowers there. They're quite beautiful. They're like crystallized. So now that we've got those on, what we're going to come and do is I'm going to grab out my glitter paint because we agreed on glitter paint. So I've got a blue, which is quite nice because we are doing like a bit of a blue page. But I've also got a gold, and I think I've got a pink glitter paint as well. These are excellent alternatives to the steckles or stickles or glitter things that you call the little tubies. Obviously, you can't get the nice round dots with the big massive ends, but they're super friendly on paintbrushes. And the other thing that I like about them as well is that the glue's not that tacky that if you get it on your hands and you wash it underneath water in a few seconds, like in a few minutes afterwards, it's not going to stay on your hands forever. It will actually come off in that first wash. Like it's not going to take you 6 goes to get the glitter off, and it does come off clothing in the wash after about 4 goes. So that's that. And then here we go. So we're going to come in. What do we want to add this glitter paint? Like, how do we want to add it? We could add it through a stamp, or probably not going to be that effective. We could come and do. It's not that effective, actually. Let's see. So I'm going to use my finger to add it. Just think if we have a bit on this butterfly here, just to give it a bit of shine, a bit of shimmer. We might add also some more yellow, I think. But I don't know if we'll add yellow that way, or we might add some yellow. I was thinking gauze, but I don't know where we'd put the gauze. That's the thing. Let's see. I'm just going to pour out some yellow paint. I did like the yellow watercolor, but I just don't think it was strong enough. Or actually, Oh boy, there. We've got some yellow tissue paper. This came from one of the retreats. I believe it was the Tropicana one we had this from. Look at that. Doing these retreat tops. Okay, and then I'm just going to come in and I'm going to put some yellow paint on the back of my yellow tissue paper. This is just meaning that it's going to keep the same type of colour. Not going to become too pastel-y, which is what I don't want. Because we've got a lot of pastel colours on there. And we're adding this tissue paper in to try and get some stronger tones. And the paint, as long as it doesn't dry before you stick it down, it's going to act as a glue. Because it's a wet medium. Which is amazing. Okay, we're not going to add too many of these because obviously you don't want to overkill the page. But just enough. To make a bit of a difference. And then go one more maybe. Just here. We might come and just reaffirm some of these triangles. You can do this with a paintbrush. Go. I don't think that looks too bad actually. And then, what do we think? Could come in with this one. Snip just a few circles down. It's just about using stuff out of your scraps. There we go. I know. Do we want to add more bling? I'll lift it up so then you guys can see how we're going. Like we might actually break out the pastel pens, I think, and do some doodling. Because I think it might be really nice with just a few doodles here and there. So let me just get real close. It's like a so as you can see, that's our page so far. What are we thinking? Some doodles maybe? I think that might be the way. I don't know if I'm getting any more comments. Because I think my internet throws and my Scrab's not really telling me.
Well, no one's written any comments.
Okay, cool. Excellent. I'm glad. I'm always really mad at myself when I miss a few and I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. Right. So here we go. So I think what we could come and do just do a bit of like a mandala effect coming out of our butterfly.
D says so pretty.
Well, thank you.
Well, let's come and take this.
Pam says, love the butterflies.
Why didn't you put any butterflies on Oh, thank you, Pam. Why did you put any buzzers on the left-hand page? I didn't put any on the left-hand page because I didn't know how they were going to look on that page, and I kind of wanted it to flow. Also, because these butterflies are really dark, if we add lots of them everywhere, it's going to be quite hard, I guess, to balance them. And it's a Sunday. I'm a little bit tired, so that too. But the other thing as well is that sometimes it's really good to go minimal. I can't believe I'm saying that. But sometimes it's good to keep a few things minimal, so then it, like, the less you have, the more of the effect you can have from it. So yeah. I use these Mott Mott pastel ink pens. They're absolutely amazing. Once the paint's dry, like, they're completely opaque. That's the pink.
Diane says beautiful.
Yeah, like, it has to be dry, but once it's dry, like, they're absolutely amazing. Like, that's the pink there. I don't know if I'm doing a very good job showing what the pink is. Like, that's the pink. And then, like, you get multiple colors. Now, can you check the link for the pastel pens, please? Like, we use them all the time. Yeah, the pastel pens. So, where do I use them? So, this is the gold here. That's the gold pastel pen. And I just find they're great for doodling. Like, I use them literally anywhere and everywhere. That was quite a heavy medium page, wasn't it? Did I use them on this one? No, I didn't use them on the fan brush, love. Oh, look, there's the gold again. Ooh, I needed to wax that one.
It's just the pastel ink pens.
Yeah, yeah. And I think that's some of the green there. Yeah, I've gone in with some of the green. Like, they're just good colours. Like, you don't get every colour in the set, obviously. But, like, they're, like, the essential colours that you need. That's the ones that I use for doodling. I find they also have a bit more of a lifespan than some of the other ones that I've bought before, which I was kind of upset about when, like, they died after using them twice. She's like, no. So that's the ones I use. I'm still on the same set, and I've had them for about 2 years, I think, now. And I haven't managed to kill them, which is absolutely amazing, because, you know, like, sometimes you buy a pen and then, like, it just dies on you. How? I haven't used any ink. But yeah, these ones, yeah, like, there was one, my blue one, I did get it in a bit too much paint, but I was able to clean the tip of it off of a skewer, which was quite nice to be able to do that so that I could keep using it. Sometimes I do have to leave it standing, like, you know, pen lid down, just so that it doesn't become reblocked, but it doesn't become too bad. Right. What evening calling? Right, so I think we might be nearly done. Yeah, I think we might just need one more of these mandalas. Can you see that one that I just worked on? So I'll show you what it looks like. So that's that one there. And then we've got one there. So I think we might put one over here. Come on, off of this tissue paper.
Chloe says evening. Chloe says making a list of shopping tomorrow and completely missed the time.
Oh, That's a good quality. Right, we are nearly done. Right, and I think that might be us done. So I'll just lift it up. Unless you guys think I need anything else. We might, we could chuck on some Diamante bling. Hold up to match the pink. The bling would be really good. Oh, just as a reminder as well. Just as a reminder so that you guys don't forget. The December retreat closes tomorrow. So definitely make sure that if you want to come, book in. It's going to be a great one. It's Pink Christmas, I believe. It's all good, Sandra. Yeah. So sometimes less is more. No, that doesn't make much sense, but like you can always add more if you're not happy with less, which is the way, but it's really hard to take away color once you've got it there. So yes, the Pink Christmas. Oh, gotta love Pink Christmas. Yeah. Well, we've got that retreat coming up soon. So yeah, the bookings close tomorrow. So if you could have your booking in, that'd be great. Just so then we can confirm numbers and what we can have in the retreat kit. The retreat that just happened, yeah. I don't know what Christmas. Just type in retreats. Just because the last retreat that we did, which was this weekend, the bookings weren't really final until about a week ago, which kind of did not help with the packing of the kits. There was a few muck-ups, as some of you might be aware of, which we're sorry about. We are. So to avoid that, we are sticking to the closing date of this one coming. Excellent.
Peace and Joy.
Yes, the Peace and Joy retreat. I just call it Pink Christmas.
It is quite literally just pink.
Christmas.
It's like Mrs. Claus, but
Mrs. Claus, when she doesn't have to follow the brand guides of red.
it's pink and white.
When Mrs. Claus is let loose. Oh. Right. You know, I think these Diamantes are making a bit of a difference. I'll lift it up to show you. They're a bit bulky, but I am sticking them down with Dimensional Magic because I just don't trust they're sticky. Yeah, it just got really hectic and things were left late. But yeah, so that's that. But look, the pink Diamantes I think add to it a bit more. So that's tonight's class. Oh no, did you enjoy the party? Pam wants to know. Okay, cool. Yes, he enjoyed the party. Came back very happy, which is the main thing. So that's tonight's class. Thank you all for coming. I know it was a bit odd doing it on a Sunday, but there we go. So just a reminder that tomorrow night we are having our extravaganza, which should be loads of fun. It is going to have kits in it, I believe, but I didn't tell you that. The Peace and Joy retreat is closing tomorrow, as I said, and we should be getting some new stock in soon.
Yeah,
just yay!
Said I'm a bit sad. I'm not going to be doing the Christmas retreat. It is the first retreat I have missed since joining the site. But I have that much Christmas stuff I haven't used this stupid.
That's all good. That's all good.
Raquel says, loving it, Naomi. D says, thank you for another amazing class, Naomi-Jon. Chloe said, what, tomorrow?
What time tomorrow?
What
Oh,
time tomorrow?
it will be at 6:30 p.m. Queensland time, the extravaganza, like our usual time setups for classes. We did this one at 7, however, because we had the retreat Zoom at 5:30. So if I started at 6:30, yeah, which just wasn't convenient, I guess you could say. Just with timing, like to give us a bit of a break between retreat and this. Thank you, Lorraine, as well. But yeah, I completely understand with you, Sandra. We will be doing some color cuts with that will be released as well. So you might be able to pair it with some of the Christmas stuff you've already got. It just depends. I think we're going to try and do Christmas cards this year. I think from our family. We'll see. And we'll get to like the 24th of December. We're like, Christmas cards. But yes. But thank you, Chloe, and thank you, Pam, and thank you all for watching. And we shall see you tomorrow. Have a wonderful night and a great week ahead. Bye.